right, and an intro.
Welcome to Wise and Nerdy, where fatherhood meets fandom in the most delightful, geeky way. Whether you're a seasoned parent, a pop culture aficionado, or both, you found your tribe. So go ahead, pour yourself a relaxing drink and settle in and enjoy the show. It's time to get wise and a little nerdy.
That is my first time hearing that version of the intro. Devo Site, longtime listener, had made a whole bunch of intros that I can use when Charles is gone. Because for the longest time, the only intro that I had available was the one that he did with his voice on it, so that his voice was on every single episode. But we're like, nope, we're not having that here. So he made me a bunch of different alternate intros that don't have Charles.
Perfect. You're not here, you don't get credit.
So, but as you can tell, Charles isn't here, and I've got some lovely people with me. Dana, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm Dana, aka known as DaniqueCosplay and Event. I am, I call it a newbie cosplayer. I've only been doing it for a few years, but I'm a long-time cosplay photographer, event planner, also the co-host and executive producer for the Moana Nui podcast, and then the assistant producer for the BOP with the Yellow Power Ranger Karen Ashley, and founder of BlurCon, Hilton George. So I assistant produced their show.
That's awesome.
Very
that is
nice.
Awesome. We are very happy to have you. And then we've also got Forging Wynton over here.
Hello, I'm Wynton Bean, also Forging Wynton. I'm a small content creator, cosplayer. I do blacksmithing live streams where I will forge out let's say the weapon or main component of the cosplay I'm doing, and I will build the rest out from there. So yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I intentionally asked both of you to come on because we are going to have some amazing discussions about cosplay and creation.
Mm-hmm.
So, but before we get to that, we're going to start off with...
It's the question of the week.
And this one came to us from my 10-year-old son. He decided that the question of the week needed to be, what's your favorite fruit? So, for me, it's got to be a pink lady apple. I'm a big fan of crisp apples, especially with a little bit of tart there. So pink ladies, I love them. They hold their firmness well. They've got that nice bite to them, and they're sweet as well. So yeah, pink lady apples for me. How about you, Dana?
For me, it's a tie for me between mangoes and pineapple. Now, I'm originally from Hawaii.
Okay.
So I tell people there's a vast difference between some pineapples you get here on the continent because a lot of them get picked too early and they allow them to ripe over time. So that's when you get that very stinky bitterness on the back end of it. But if it ripes properly, you don't get any of that. It's just sweetness and delicious, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember being shocked the first time I saw a pineapple plant.
Yes.
Because like most people, you're like, oh,
They think it's on a tree.
little stub that's on the ground. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a pineapple plant.
Yes. Yes, just grows at the little top of the plant. And has these little spiky aspects to basically protect the fruit.
Yeah,
Grows
from
at
the
top.
animals.
Yep, it starts out a little, like you said, a little stub, and then it grows, and you're like, oh, it's a pineapple.
Oh, that's what that is.
Now, does pineapple belong on pizza?
Depending on your preference. Now, I enjoy it, but I like to tell people it is not a Hawaiian pizza. That pizza was made in Canada. I do not claim that. But I do enjoy it.
There you go. Yeah, I like the taste of pineapple. I don't care for the texture. So like I'll eat stuff that's pineapple flavored, or drink something that has pineapple juice in it. But I don't care for the texture of pineapple for some reason.
Yeah, texture for me as well. It's just an odd. I don't know how to even describe it. It's just weird for me.
Okay. There's the firmness of it. And
Yeah.
It's a bit more
stringiness of it.
fibrous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Very
a bit more fibrous than say like
Yes.
an orange or a clementine or something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of health properties. So
Yes, that is true. I actually take a supplement that includes one of the active ingredients from pineapple.
Okay.
Wynton, what about you?
Granny Smith apple. I always enjoy
Okay.
the little tartness and
in and of itself or baked, because a lot of people associate Granny Smith with bake, or both.
both. Both are good.
dipped in caramel.
If it's fresh caramel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want those that have been sitting in the plastic containers for the last month.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah, I was just thinking, they have those chocolate fountains. A caramel fountain probably wouldn't work so well. It'd get gunked up too much. The consistency's
As
probably
long
too
as it
thick.
stays warm.
As long as it stays warm. That's how those chocolate fountains work. There's a little heater
Yeah.
that pushes them through.
So maybe.
Yeah.
I think I've seen caramel fountains before. They're not as common just because if you turn them off, then you're dealing with a mess. But
Yeah.
as long as they're running.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that could be fun.
Mhm.
So we've got actually 3 people called in to answer this question of the week. So let's get to that. We'll start with my 10-year-old, since he's the one that decided this had to be the question.
My favorite fruit is honeydew because it's sweet and a bit tart at the same time.
Okay. You
Yeah.
actually had honeydew with dinner tonight, so
Nice.
Nice.
on point. And then this one comes to us from DevoSite, who did the intro for us today.
Question of the week is, what's your favorite fruit? And this was difficult. I love a lot of fruits. However, I would have to say, well, if rhubarb was a fruit, I'd say rhubarb, but it's not. Strawberries is definitely my favorite. They're really, really good. I mean, just a good strawberry. It's hard to beat. A close second, and probably for nostalgia reasons, Concord grapes, because I grew up with them in my backyard, and as a kid, I'd eat them. Yeah, they got seeds in them, a little tannin, but they're good too. But yeah, definitely strawberry. Just hard to beat.
Strawberries are quite good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what's nice is they're a perennial plant. So if you plant strawberries, they'll come back every year.
Yes.
Same with raspberries and blackberries.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yeah, we had strawberries for a long while, although animals would eat 90% of them before we got to them. But yeah, we definitely should have put a cage or something up around it to keep the critters out. But yeah,
we had at my parents' house, we have a little row of raspberries that have just come back every year, and last few years they've been a little undertaken care of, and now they're just branching out.
Nice.
They're just like, we need to harvest and pick those. We just prune those sometime.
One of my best buds growing up, they had a chain link fence between their property and a church's property behind their house, and they actually grew grapes and had the grapevines interwoven in the chain link fence.
Oh,
wow.
So it basically became a privacy fence after that.
Very nice.
You just walk up and
Pick a few and go along.
because they didn't spray them with pesticides or anything, so we just walked up and grabbed them and ate them. And probably should have washed them first, but being 5-6 years old, we just popped them off the vine and right into our mouth. So yep. And then this last one comes to us from Australia, from KCJ.
Favorite fruit? That's kind of a hard one because I have oral allergy syndrome. So I love dragon fruit and persimmons, kiwi fruit, but they all make my mouth itchy if I eat them. So I was going to say something silly like cucumber because I love a cucumber sandwich. But honestly, I think passion fruit. Passion fruit's my favorite. Cut it in half, you sprinkle some sugar inside, and then mix it up and just eat it all, nice and quick. Or alternatively, you make a pavlova, which is like imagine a cake made of meringue. It's an Aussie dessert, and you sprinkle it with lots of fruit normally on top. But my favorite, passion fruit on top of meringue. It's delicious.
I know about pavlova from Bluey.
Yeah, I know that reference. Bluey.
Oh.
Says cartoons don't teach you anything.
Exactly.
My older sister, one of my older sisters, she would take grapefruit and cut it in half and actually put salt on it. She would actually do that with her watermelon too. She would put a little bit of salt on her watermelon. So I've heard of other people doing that. So I don't think it's that abnormal, but that is not something that I do.
Yeah, I haven't tried it. I've had grapefruit and sprinkled sugar on it, but not salt. But then they had that trend, I think it was like last year, that trended on social media, people getting watermelon, putting mustard on it, and they're talking about how it tasted good. And I'm just like,
no,
I'm sorry, none of y'all convincing me. I don't care how many thousands of you are doing this.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Put a watermelon, squeezing watermelon and taking a bite of some fresh watermelon. No.
See, John, aka Devo Site, says the salt acts as a buffer to the acid in the grapefruit, so you taste the sweetness. And apparently, it also works with tomatoes. That it helps bring out the sweetness. Okay, all right.
Alrighty.
But yeah, some of those TikTok challenges, I can't help but wonder if they start them specifically to see how many idiots fall for it. It's just like, let's see how many people we can get to taste a little bit of mustard on their watermelon.
It's so funny because even celebrities were doing, like, they had Lizzo and several other celebrities that were doing it, and they were like, it actually works. I was like, I'm sorry, none of you celebrities are convincing me either.
Yeah, no.
I'm not wasting my watermelon on putting some mustard on it.
No.
Well, and even if they honestly feel like it works, I kind of wonder if it's their brain telling them it should work because they've seen so many other people claim it should work, and so their brain tricks them into thinking that it tastes good, because your mind can make stuff, it can emphasize or de-emphasize tastes and smells and other senses, and it can trick you so much.
Yeah.
So,
or are they just good actors and going like, oh, any attention is good attention.
So good.
Yeah. This is so good.
Cut it.
Oh man, yeah.
And just getting everybody in the comments to come in and go like, that's wrong.
Yeah, I think the weirdest thing, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this on the show before, but the weirdest thing I've ever had at the insistence of someone else was they convinced me to, and apparently in the Midwest this is a thing, but dip cinnamon roll in chili is apparently a thing.
Okay.
And so it wasn't half bad. I've never had it again, so that kind of goes to, it wasn't horrible. It's just not something that I'm like, eh.
Like, the science is there, I feel like the sweet and spicy, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the worst mix I've done off of like a TikTok trend was, I think it was like a mixed drink of like Captain Morgan's rum mixed with Bud Light. It was supposed to taste like chocolate milk. Did not at all.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple of those. Like one was like with Dr. Pepper or something else, and they were like, "Oh, it tastes so good." I was like, once again, no. Oh, it was Dr. Pepper and Fireball.
Okay.
And I was just like,
and what? I mean, I've never. I don't drink, but Fireball is basically just like a Red Hot, right? Like a Fireball. Yeah. So, I mean, the spicy cinnamon flavor mixed with Dr. Pepper, I could see that working.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's supposed to taste like, but I could see it from a flavor.
Yeah.
Over there.
From
I
a
can see it
from a
working.
flavor palette, like the science is there to make sense, but in action, who knows?
Yeah. My dad, he would eat all kinds of interesting sandwiches, but it was usually just some kind of fried meat with peanut butter on a sandwich. So he'd do like bacon or fried bologna or fried ham on a peanut butter sandwich, and he liked that quite a bit. That was one of the weirder things that he would consume. John, Captain Morgan.
It was a cheap drink that I would have while I was streaming and forging.
You.
Friends won't let friends drink Zima. If anyone's old enough to experience the first, malt drink, Zima, that in, what was it?
Four Loco,
yes.
When Charles and I were
Stupid stuff in college.
When Charles and I were in Chicago for a Pokemon Go event, some of the guys we met up there that did we were doing a Pokemon.
Did they give you Malort?
Yes, exactly. they gave Charles Malort. Dana, do you know what Malort, or have you heard of Malort?
I heard of it. I haven't tried it, but I've heard the stories. That's why I was like,
I grew up in Chicago suburbs. I know Malort. I've never had it still, and I don't ever plan to.
It's someone was like, "Hey, they told Charles, hey, if I buy you a shot of Malort, will you drink it?" And he's like, "Sure," because he had no idea.
y'all better give you a lot of money.
Yeah. So
damage my taste buds that way.
Yeah, I drove home from that because I don't drink in general, and so but he's sitting there in the passenger side, and the Malort is causing him to burp.
Yeah,
and every time he burps, he's like, "Oh, I can taste it again. It's so bad."
Hey, just be thankful it wasn't a Chicago's handshake. That's where it's like, here's a shot of Malort and then a PBR that you have to chase it down with. It's just bad.
Yeah, the botched guys at Dragon Con, every year they try to outdo themselves on the loser of
their Blood Feud. It's a Family Feud D&D themed Family Feud game show that they do at Dragon Con.
And so the loser has to drink
the losing team.
Horrible. The losing team does. And so one year they brought Malort, and a lot of them were like, "Oh, this isn't that bad compared to what they normally drink."
The year before was a hemp for Loco that they had left in their van at Atlanta for the weekend. That was their first year they did it.
Well, one year, I think it was a
third year. That was not last year. That was the year before last. I helped them get that salmon flavor vodka.
Yeah,
salmon flavor. Oh gosh!
And then the year before they had. Then the year before they had what's called grappa, which roughly translates to trash wine in French, and it's made from all the byproducts of normal winemaking: the husks, the vines, the leaves, the pulp. It is disgusting.
And that's assuming that they're not mixing it, because half the time they mix a whole bunch of horrible options together to make some kind of gross concoction.
That was the salmon vodka. They mixed that one with Jägermeister.
Oh,
it tasted like steak sauce. It was not that
steak
terrible.
Sauce.
That's a flavor palette I got from that mixture. It tasted like a sour steak sauce.
I think your brain was just like, I don't know how to interpret this, and threw something random out there.
Yeah, or I was expecting the grappa from the year previously that I had, and I was like, this is going to be horrible. It's like, this is fine.
Your brain
it's
just
bad, but yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, now that we've made people question the sanity of the botched boys, rightfully so.
John's had a couple comments. He gave an amen to that saying Zima was sadness.
Oh yeah.
And he says never have alcohol while doing math.
Shouldn't drink and derive the dad jokes. All right. Let's go ahead and see where this night's gonna take us.
Roll that dice.
All right. Number 2.
Daddy, tell me a story.
All right. Tell me an epic story about cosplay. So whether it's wearing cosplay, making cosplay, just what's an epic story that you've had in your career as cosplayers or as a blacksmith? So for me, I don't cosplay a lot.
Mhm.
And so most of mine it would be like Halloween normal stuff where I've dressed up. And there was one Halloween I decided I was gonna dress up as Guy from Free Guy.
Okay.
Okay.
Specifically the scene where he's got Captain America's shield and the Hulk
Okay.
hand. And so I'm walking around and they're like, "What are you, just an Avenger?" And I'm like, I got the blue shirt, I've got the khakis, got everything. And they're just like, "Oh, you're just an Avenger?" I'm like, "No, I'm a specific character." They're like, "No," and everyone's like, "Oh, you're just a combination of the Avengers." And so I think one person the entire night knew who I was, and I wore that same costume to Stellar Fest,
Okay.
and I was like, "Okay, a con." I think one maybe two people
Mhm.
knew who I
Okay.
was. And I was just like, I mean, I know it's a very specific scene, but I was like, I thought that movie was popular enough that it would be
Yeah.
recognized, but nah, guess not. It was
Okay.
obscure enough that they didn't get it.
Hey, you still had like those few people that did know it.
Yep. So
That's always what makes the cosplays.
Yes.
yep.
Yeah. The excitement seeing people.
Yeah. And if you spot somebody else that's doing a cosplay in the same realm as what you're doing, another character from the same franchise, whatever, it's always fun as well.
Yes.
For mine, I guess a lot of my favorite stories are making the parts for my cosplay. I got a couple here. They're gonna be big. So this one was last year's cosplay. It's about a 5.5 foot spear.
If it'll
Wow.
focus in.
Yeah, if it'll
Yeah.
focus. There we go.
Well, nice.
All hand forged.
Wow.
Making sure nothing's falling
That
in the
is
back.
super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw some of your stuff at Charles's house. I was like, "Whoa, that's super cool!" And you
Which one was that? Was that?
It
do you remember
It was
which one
another.
was?
It was
Was it
another
the black spear? I have that here too.
Maybe it wasn't nearly as elaborate as this. This is
Mhm. This
you have
was
definitely stepped up your game.
This is the last one I had made. So that one started from a block of like a truck spring, one of those long flat truck springs, just like maybe a 8-inch section. And that's what that one started out as, and working that all through, hammering out that center hole for that brass or the bronze that's in there that I carved as well on both sides for the symbols for the cosplay. I was doing from Stormlight Archives from Brandon Sanderson's work.
yeah.
That one was that cosplay.
So you were why am I blanking on his name right now? The main character from the Stormlight Archives, right?
Keldon.
Keldon, yeah. Okay.
And then
nice.
this is the one I made my first year doing like a full character cosplay. I tried to etch this all black, and again, this was just all hand forged out of one billet of steel.
Okay.
And then a bunch of woodwork and carving and design work for this one for a Wheel of Time cosplay for a character called Matt from the Wheel of Time book series.
Okay, yeah.
And then the one in between
my sister-in-law's favorite character is Matt from the
Yeah.
Wheel of Time.
Mine from Wheel of
He's a
Time.
fun character.
Yeah.
So
mine is Perrin, because obligatory blacksmith.
Yes.
And
I'm a huge fan of Perrin as well. Okay.
this is my first axe that I had made too. So first project working with a large, about 2-inch by 2-inch block of steel, hammering this hole straight through, no drilling, no nothing, just hammering that through for hours just to get it to the shape. So
nice. Yeah. So for anyone who's listening audio only, we'll have to get some pictures out there so that you can see some of this.
Yes.
Yeah. Because those are awesome.
Yeah. Those are some of my favorite stories, making those from the start to the finish and live streaming that throughout the entire process, seeing them slowly transition from random block of steel to going more and more to what this weapon is supposed to look like, or at least to my head.
Yeah. So what made you want to get into blacksmithing?
For blacksmithing, that was something from... Nope, here's my camera again. There we go. Oh, are you being difficult
It's thinking
now?
about it.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
For blacksmithing, as a kid, I was always interested in swords. I loved the high fantasy movies, series, what have you. And I loved swords. Decided from like elementary school, just like, I'm gonna make my own swords. And then later on, getting into high school, started was looking more into doing that more full time, more earnestly, and not having any of the money. My parents thinking, let's see if he actually will stick to this. And
I imagine it's not cheap getting into it.
no, not if you're starting out on your own. But luckily, we had there's a school in Chicago, an hour about for me, that teaches blacksmithing classes. And that's where I started learning. And I have even my first project here that took a year to make. Dinky little knife that I've had for about 10 years now, because I've been doing this for about 10 years at this point.
Now, John in the chat says definitely helps work on your arm strength.
Yes.
Now, is your dominant arm considerably stronger now after blacksmithing for so long?
Yeah, I would say so. It's also like a lot of different muscle groups when you start out that you don't use normally at all.
Yeah.
So certain muscle groups definitely bulk up that you don't normally use in your day-to-day life.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure you had a lot of sore moments after a long session.
Yes.
I mean, obviously it's not blacksmithing, but I moved to an area and I made friends with a manager at a bowling alley, and he would me and my friends come and bowl for a couple of hours once a week.
Yeah.
And so after the first time, I'm like, I laid down at night and I was like, man, why is my arm so sore? I'm like, because I just bowled 14 games in 2 hours earlier today. I don't wonder my arm is so sore. Yeah. So I imagine similar things have happened.
Very much so.
While blacksmithing.
And then for extended periods of time, because you're like, okay, I'm forging about 4 times this week. Okay, this is going to be going on for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So
very cool.
Danique, Dana, what do you have? An epic story?
I would say my epic story was actually I was cosplaying as Bulma. It's probably like my 4th cosplay, and I was at Baltimore Comic Con, and I was helping my co-host. We had a booth there. Was heading out, and then I hear this person was like, "Oh my gosh, I love your Bulma!" And I turn around and I look, and it's the booth. And of course, it's a vendor booth for webtoons and stuff. And I look and I see, the person and the stuff around him. I'm like, excuse me, are you Monji? And she's like, yes. And she is the author, Monji, that's known for the critically acclaimed webtoons Let's Play, which has also been put into books and everything.
Okay.
And she was like, can I get a picture of your cosplay? I'm like, yes, you can.
Yeah.
And, but it was just so random. And so then it's like my co-host like, Tina, where are you? And I was like, I'll be there soon. I'm getting pictures taken right now. And but then it was so cool. But then fast forward, last year I was at San Diego Comic-Con and ran into her there, and she was like, "You're Bulma," and I was like, "Oh, you remember me?"
That's awesome.
Very nice. That's cool.
Now, What? So you said you've been cosplaying for a few years now. What made you want to get into cosplaying?
Oh my gosh. That was never a plan.
Yeah.
Because I've always been in the, of course, doing cosplay photography. I was doing photography for the longest, and then I got more into it once I started doing it with conventions, starting in 2015.
Mhm.
But a lot of the cosplayers I know was just like, hey, you should do this. I'm like, no, no, I'm behind the camera. And then finally, um, you know, Bar Fox and Dean's List. Dean's List known for he worked on the Dora Milajes with Marvel and stuff like that. So they were like, okay, they literally 300 kicked me into the pit that is known as cosplay, and they were like, we got you, we got to do this. So my very first cosplay, had me to really think about it. And I was like, all right, if I'm going to do one, I kind of looked at some characters that I enjoy watching, and I decided to do Captain Yodoichi from Bleach. I was
Oh,
like, I
nice.
wanted her captain
Okay.
form before she came
Yeah.
to Earth.
Mhm.
And of course, you can't find it mass produced. You can get
Yeah.
her Earth version. And
Mhm.
so then I leaned in on Dean's List, and I was like, okay, if y'all gonna make me do this, y'all gonna have to help me do it right. So they got it, got it made. And then when I decided to do it, I had like 6 people helping me put it on, trying to teach me how to put contacts in. And I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh gosh, and then trying to get a wig on and all this kind of stuff. And then I'm just like, this is hot. And of course, they were like, okay, just give yourself like a couple hours before you decide to like get out of this. And I get to the con floor, and there's this little girl. She's probably about like 3 or 4 years old. And I was standing by a Storm cosplayer, and her mom was like, "Hi, can I get she wants a picture with you." So I step aside because I'm like, Storm, yes. And she was like, no, no, she wants a picture with you. I was like, me? I was like, okay. And I told her yes, and one of my friends took pictures on her phone so she could share it with me. And you just see the little girl squat and make a big old jump, and she takes off running because I told her I'll pick her up, and pick her up, and she's asking me about my Zongpak toe, and I'm like, yes. And she was like, can I touch it? I'm like, yes. And then she's looking at her, she's like, oh. And she looks at her mom, and she's like, no. And so I was like, okay, let's get our picture taken. And so she's taking her picture, and like she was just so giddy, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. Because it was just like, I was like, Storm is a known character for kids, but I'm like, my character, Yoruichi, unless you've watched Bleach, you have no clue about her. So I was like, the fact that this kid wanted a photo with me, I was just like, okay, this is kind of cool.
And for all of our listeners that are like, what's a Zanpakuto? What are you talking about? It's a sword.
Sword, yes,
sword. I mean, there's a little bit more to that, but it's
yes.
That is awesome. I imagine walking around the con, you get stopped a lot for pictures.
A lot of there's like, I have done obscure character that some people don't know, but I was like, this is a comfortable cosplay, and if you know the anime, you know it. But then you have the ones like Aboma or especially Yoruichi, because a lot of people don't see her in that form. So especially other Bleach characters, like I even had a cosplayer who is located in Portland reached out to me on TikTok, was like, I want to do a duet as my Ichigo to your Yoruichi. And I was like, okay, what scene do you want to do? And he was like, which one you're thinking of? I'm like, let's do the one when Ichigo finds out Yoruichi's actually a girl from cat form.
Okay.
And so we did that. We had a stuffed cat. He had it throw in, and then I come up and I'm like, he's reacting like, what? And stuff. So it was like kind of cool that he saw my Yoruichi on social media and then ended up reaching out to me for that. So and and then I've done also Captain Hibana from Fire Force, which you used in the marketing for this episode. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But I've done some absurd ones, but then also like once I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to do this character.
Mhm.
I don't care if you know it or not.
Mhm.
I like this character.
Yeah. Man, it. Like I said, I don't do a lot of cosplay, but I can imagine walking around and getting recognized, and how wonderful that feeling, and seeing people light up when they see and recognize the character.
Yes.
And it just being able to share that part of yourself must be so amazing. And yeah, just fun times.
Yes.
And Wynton, I bet people are in awe when you talk about your blacksmithing. Like, oh, you made that.
Yeah, that's usually the point that catches a lot of people. Just like, whoa, this dude made this thing, this hand forged steel, solid. This thing is heavy.
Yeah. So
like, this is not made out of foam.
No.
Yeah.
And I've gone to a couple of the at Dragon Con mainly, because that's the main con that I go to. I've gone to here's the meetup for the photo shoots for all of the characters from this series, and I'll go there, and it's just like I've seen a bunch of people that are just like, oh, okay, this person's having a foam spear and a good wig and a good wig and a good cosplay, and I'm looking at myself, I'm like, the cosplay itself, I could do better on. The spear, I think I got hands down.
Yeah. Yep. And you're like, is your foam spear even piece bonded? No, it's not legit enough for that.
Yeah, mine needs to be piece tied at all times, unless I'm doing a photo. I can't walk around the hotel.
Yeah. For those that have not been to conventions, peace bonding is when they wrap up something that it could legitimately hurt people, like swords and weapons,
or
and
if
like
it's
that.
Or firearms, any things that look like firearms, they'll make sure you have the orange tip, or at least some bright colored zip ties around where the hand would be.
To indicate it's a prop and make sure that people are like, oh, okay. I don't need to be freaking out. I mean, at a con, most people are like, oh, yes, it's a prop. But some of them, it is also a safety thing. They
Because you do have the randoms that are has a room in a hotel and did not realize a convention is going on that weekend.
Yes. Luckily, I've never ran into anybody like that, but
I can only imagine someone getting there and not realizing, and just that would be such a culture shock that they're showing up for some business thing and they're just like, what
is happening?
Huh?
You see that with a lot of flight attendants and pilots that have to be housed at hotels that the cons are on. They're just like, I'm supposed to just stay the night before I fly out. What's going on here?
Yep.
And sometimes they might be like, oh, I don't have enough time to stay and
yes,
see
exactly.
Cool.
Especially if it's a character they're like, you'll see them pulling out their phone.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I've never like Wynton said, I've never actually run into anyone that was, at least that I assumed was there for the con. So it's just like, that'd be interesting. But anyway,
I ran into a lot of the Uber drivers and Lyft drivers that have been like, what's going on?
Yes.
Oh.
The fact that they don't realize it's going on kind of baffles me, because it's a pretty big deal every year.
Sometimes they don't realize that it's happening that weekend. They know about it, but
they think it's later
weekend.
Or it already happened.
Yeah. And there's been the times where it's like there's some college game or some football game going on, and it's like, okay, so there's a bunch of mixing crowds now going trying to get through, walking around here.
This Spartan is over here next to the guy that's all painted up for the football game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. Same, just different costumes.
Yes,
Exactly.
A lot of people don't realize that. It's like you're cosplaying too. You don't play for that team.
Yep. Exactly.
You have your fantasy footballs. We have our fantasy books
Thank you.
Yep.
and our fan fictions.
Yes.
I mean, fantasy football has
Is just fan
a lot of
fiction.
things. A lot of things. Same mindset as like D&D
Mhm.
in my book.
Yep.
You know, it's running the numbers and playing the
Mhm.
game. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of overlap there.
Yeah.
Yep. Body painting. You
Mhm.
got foam smithing happening. You got costuming. Everything. Yes. It's basically a convention.
And what's a cosplay if not just you're making your own costume of the team mascot?
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep. So, all right. Well, let's see where we're gonna go to next.
Roll the dice if you dare.
I do dare. Ooh. Number 1.
What are you nerding about?
So, what are you nerding out about?
Mm.
Or as my 6-year-old said, what are you nerding about? For me, this past week I watched the K-pop Demon Slayer or Demon
okay.
Hunters, I think
Mhm.
is what it is.
Yeah.
And I keep hearing all kinds of buzz about it,
Mhm.
and my 10-year-old, one of his friends was like, "Hey, you should watch it," and I started watching it with him, my 10-year-old, and then we had to run and do something else, and so he finished it on his own, and I finished it separate as well. And the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, yes, these are some pretty catchy tunes, but the underlying message, I'm like, this is Frozen, is what the whole time it's reminding.
Okay.
The underlying message is almost the same as Frozen to me, and
Okay.
I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, no, this is throw in the pop icon aspect,
Mhm.
the pop group, and throw in demons, but the core messaging is the same. It's all about coming to accept you for you,
Accepting
and
your who you are, your abilities,
yeah,
things like
and
that.
letting your own identity be empowering to
Mhm.
your own life.
Okay.
Mhm.
That it's all about coming to grips with there's no shame in being who you are type of messaging. But yeah, no, my 10-year-old, after I finished, he's like, "Oh, dad, my favorite is the cat." I'm like,
Oh, the tiger.
yeah. I'm like, okay, you like the derpy cat? That's all right. He's cute. He's cute. So, but yeah, no, it's fun. I honestly, I don't see myself watching it a ton. It was I mean, it's meant for kids, and it because of that, it's very, in my mind, from a critical standpoint. So let me preface, I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Okay.
The songs were good and everything, but from a critical standpoint, the story in and of itself was rudimentary and kind of lacking.
Okay.
It was pretty derivative, but it was.
I have heard the animation was pretty good for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they said it's the studio that did Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Mhm.
The animation kind of reminded me of Turning Red.
Okay.
The one with that.
Yes.
But yeah,
I know
it
of it.
almost.
I have not seen it.
Yeah, no, the
I
animation
enjoyed that one.
almost kind of looked like it was leaning into like claymation type of animation, but it was good. It was fun. It was a fun ride, and it was enjoyable.
Okay.
And being a kids movie, it doesn't have to have the most in-depth, compelling story, but maybe they'll flesh out the world a lot more, because they have announced that they're going to work on a number 2.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah.
See if they go more adult themes. Maybe that's always the hope.
Yeah.
Add a little bit more adult themage instead of just kidifying it too much.
That's always the beauty of Pixar movies. They have those adult themes that go over the kids' heads, but we're like,
yeah, they kind of they dipped a little bit into some more heavier topics, but only a tiny scratch the surface. They could really, the core of a good story is there, and the world in and of itself is interesting.
Yeah, the world setting is good. The core, everything.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I'm one of those people that really likes. So Charles makes fun of me because I really like Brandon Sanderson's storytelling, but he has very defined rules and reasoning for all of his storytelling.
Okay.
And this did not. It was more of a
Really
it
free
works
form.
like this. It works like this just because type of thing.
Okay.
Okay.
And they don't really explain a lot of the why things are the way they are. Like,
Okay.
it's
So it just kind of throws you in the world, doesn't tell you like, here's how the powers are, here's what this is, and here's what these are.
Yeah, and so when it doesn't dive in, it has to keep everything surface level because, well, to be honest, the writers probably haven't thought deeply enough to come to grips
Or
with
it's
it.
aspect that they had it and the studio was like, "Man, we're cutting that."
Yeah, let's cut that. We don't need that.
Like, that's too much for a kid. We don't need all of that, and it's just gonna.
We're just gonna jump to right here.
So, but yeah,
that'd be interesting to see if they take some of those aspects that they cut out of the first one. If they do have that, if they could reuse some of that, that'd be really fun.
Because I've seen some things on online that was like, hey, this scene was cut out, this was cut out.
Okay.
This, connects that. So it's like it's really showing like how much of that additional storytelling that was taken out of the the studios just like, nope, we're just gonna skip that and we're gonna go right here.
Yeah. Well, and from an animation standpoint, if they cut it at the storyboard level, it makes more sense to leave it cut because it costs a lot to animate and it's very time consuming. But then there's stuff like the Lord of the Rings. Most people that I know that whenever they rewatch it, it's always the extended version because they love it and they don't care that it's 4 hours long because they love it. They don't want to leave those scenes on the cutting room floor. And I understand why stuff gets cut for time for theater length and things like that.
For movies, I understand, but for TV series, for animated series, stuff like that, I'm always confused at like
why they cut it like that.
Why? And if it's already like recorded, the audio's already done, it's like you already paid them for the work.
Yeah.
You can stretch out an extra episode or two.
Yeah.
Well, and I wonder because it might boil down to contracts. Like we're contracted for this specific number of episodes, so we have to trim it down to this number of episodes. So there might be some legal reasons for all of that.
Some of the behind the scenes we're not privy to.
But Dana, what are you nerding out about?
Oh my gosh. I have recently so my dear friends who are K-pop, K-drama, they've been trying to recruit me into that and they have failed miserably for years. But because of that, it has changed the algorithm of my TikTok, my Instagram, and I know y'all watching this, so y'all know who I'm talking to. So TikTok and all of them will give me, and of course they'll send me some of these little drama shorts that now they have these Asian drama shorts that the episodes are typically no more than 5 minutes long. And so you can, if you binge, you can finish a whole series within like a day, a couple hours and all. So I was just like, because there's a lot of series they want me to watch. I don't have time with all the stuff I have on my plate. I'm behind on so much anime because I'm like, I was like, when I have a break, I'll watch it. But it's kind of like, so one of them has sent me this one drama short and it was like, and I was like, oh, okay. And then of course, algorithm doing what it does best. It was like, hey, you were interested in this? Check out this on TikTok. Here's another little clip for you to watch. And I was just like, why are they showing this to me? I was just like, all right. And so, I'm like, let this, little clip play. And, I end up watching it and I was just like, all right, let me go find this.
What happens next?
Exactly. And I'm trying to remember the exact name, but it was It's the something Miss Lucky, and it had me cracking up so hard. I'm like, tears are coming out my eye because it's just like it takes the storytelling to a whole nother level because it's like it's these shorts, so they're not doing the fluff; they're going like straight throttle, and it's basically the story of like this deity and the other gods have this family that they've been protecting for centuries, and something's going on, and she's just trying to chill. She's enjoying her books, enjoying some food. This ain't my problem. And they're like, hey, we need your help because we got to help this family. And she's like, once again, this is not my problem. That is yours. You made that promise centuries ago. And then he had to, trying to kick her to go to Earth, but he kicked her so hard she lands into the body of the sister-in-law. And this is the sister-in-law that is being bullied and mistreated. And of course, there's the family friend's daughter who is mad she's married to the main guy. So she's causing trouble, constantly getting her in trouble. Well, now she's got this deity in the body and they're, pursuing, and she's just like, oh, y'all have the wrong person right now. And one of them was like, they were trying to lock her up, and they were like, we're going to lock you in here till you learn your lesson. Well, she's a deity. She's got powers. So she removed the whole door frame and walked out the door with it. And they're just like, what's happening? And I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. So I end up like watching the whole thing. So now because of that, I've been like constantly, they're like, ooh, yes, here. And of course, TikTok and everything else is like, cool, since you watch that. And
here's this.
I've been watching those because I'm like, okay, I can finish a whole series in an hour. That I can do that versus every episode is an hour. And then I have to go through every week for an episode to release. And I'm like, no, I don't got time for that. I knock this out in one fell swoop. So I've been into these, Asian dramas, Chinese dramas, they're Korean dramas. They have different countries in Asia that have them. And then, which is funny now, I guess the US has caught on, so they'll get American actors to redo the stories. And I'll come across, I'm like, I've seen this, and y'all are not giving the same energy as that little lady in China doing that. No, the kid's not even crying like that child was in that series. This kid is just like, no, mom. And I'm like, no. US got to do better.
Maybe they'll get there like they've been doing with anime dubs. Anime dubs used to be a joke. Nowadays, they've really stepped up their game, and some of them are pretty dang good.
Like the Studio Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli's been good though for decades. They've
I was
always
like,
been
I don't
good.
know how their recruiting methods are, but they're spot on for the US actors to do the dubs.
Like a Studio Ghibli, I'll always watch dubbed just because I'm like, it's so good to voice acting.
And they get some serious A-list actors for Studio Ghibli.
And the fact that they all say as soon as they hear Studio Ghibli come, they're like, yes, we'll drop whatever. Even Robert Pattinson.
They've gotten William Dafoe. They've gotten
Liam Neeson.
Neeson.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. My gosh, yes.
So
the list goes on. It's just like, all of them know. They're like, dude, Ghibli is just a Disney.
Just Ponyo.
You want me to play what character? Yes, I'll play the witch. Yes. Thank you so much for calling me. I'll do this for free.
maybe the Asian dramas will get a similar treatment.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
Yes. So that's what's got me right now.
What really needs to get that treatment is some of the live action anime they keep tossing out. So many of those are just not good.
I just think like anime is an anime, and then like there's types of materials that you can translate to different mediums. Some anime I can see, but like some of the ones they've been doing, Fullmetal Alchemist, Bleach, things like that. I don't think can like transfer over to live action all that well. Death Note.
Yeah. Whereas I think the best one that I've seen animated live action is Erased. I don't. It's a lot. It's lesser known.
I think I know the anime. I think I've seen clips of the anime.
Yeah,
but-
that one.
So-
Whew, that'll have you on your seat.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and it's a heavy topic too. Like I
Yeah.
told my wife that I wanted to watch it with her, but I also gave her a heads up that it is about a child serial killer.
Yeah.
So, so I'm like, so she appreciated the warning because she wanted to be in the right headspace.
Yes.
Mhm.
Watch that. That's not something that you just put on willy nilly and
Yeah.
go for it.
And hope for the
Yeah.
best.
Mhm.
Especially not introducing someone for the first time to anime. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
I once had a friend that said he loved anime, and before I grew up on like Toonami on like Adult Swim
Oh, yeah.
cartoon nights, and I saw Dead Man Wonderland on there. I liked it. Tried to show my friend it. Like within the first few minutes, he shut the laptop closed because of that opening scene in there. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay, fair, but it's also what? Okay.
Yeah, it's a running theme in a lot of anime, getting that episode 1 shock factor
Yeah.
out of the way to get people. I mean, one of the most notorious ones for that is Goblin Slayer.
Yeah.
Getting,
Yeah.
yeah, my brother, he's watched Goblin Slayer, rewatched it several times, but he's like every rewatch he just skips episode 1 because he's like I don't want to deal with
Yeah.
episode
You don't want to
So-
you don't need to see that.
Yeah.
1. Yeah. So, but Wynton, what are you nerding out about?
Recently, it's been a lot of Star Wars. Been getting back into a Star Wars kick.
Okay.
I said earlier,
Which Star Wars specifically?
Star Wars in general. I've been getting back into some prequel era stuff. I've been going back through and rewatching Rebels the last few
Okay.
weeks. I've been really enjoying that. I understand it is a kid show. It does have the here's like short. We don't go deep into these like darker themes, but like
Yeah.
they still hint at it. But it's almost every episode they hint at it, and you're constantly seeing these characters progress and constantly seeing them like learn as they go along, which is really refreshing from some of these other from like early Clone Wars series where it was like that was just kid show, here's filler episode, and seeing as well like a different story of the Jedi teachings than what we see mostly from the progression of Yoda, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Luke, all that, like a different teaching style, different learning process, which is always interesting to me. As well, I've been also getting a lot of prequel era TikTok stuff. A lot of people posting about their favorite droids, or if what their headcanons are for clones and stuff like that in the wars. I've also been getting into playing the Lego Star Wars games as well. I've just been on a binge of that last few days, which has been really fun, getting back and getting parcels and pieces of the original story in a new light and exploring more. So that's what I've been nerding out about.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest untapped resources, in my opinion, when it comes to Star Wars, is they really haven't had a character who is Force sensitive but doesn't adhere to either the Sith or the Jedi philosophy. Like they've had a few, but they haven't done
Being that gray,
as-
the gray
as a-
Jedi.
Yeah. I love a Grey Jedi. All the
Because
way back
there's-
from KOTOR to like Grey
Oh, yeah.
Jedi.
with what was his name? Jolie? Was that?
Yeah,
his name?
Jolie was his name.
Yeah, and it's a shame that they've got, because there's got to be plenty of Force sensitive people
Yeah.
that won't adhere
Yes.
to either, especially considering the Jedi Order by
Mhm.
and large rejects anyone above a certain age.
Yeah.
There's going to be plenty of individuals who never get picked up by the Jedi Order and, well, aren't evil. And
Yeah.
so, and to be honest, from a philosophy standpoint, there are issues with the Jedi Order, and
Yes.
there's plenty of issues with the Sith
Exactly.
Order.
Yes.
But there are issues with those philosophies.
Mhm.
And
I'm
well,
hoping that like in whatever next sense we get of like the Jedi Order in the future or something, like it's
yeah.
gone through a rehash, it's changed, because that's what I like to see throughout the eras, just like the change in the teachings. I hope they pull more from Legends instead of like, here's this brand new thing. Like you guys already have all these scripts, like this whole storyboard all planned out.
Mhm.
You can modify this. You can.
I don't see them ever going into like the Yuzon Vong, but there's
I
there's
wish.
plenty of other stories that they could.
I mean, we got
pull
Thrawn.
from.
We got Thrawn.
Yeah.
Which he plays into the Yuzong Vong era. So maybe we don't know exactly what that's going to lead into with the upcoming Ahsoka series, or are they like the Ghost Crew? Because I know they're getting a series too, like the Rebels crew. That's getting a live action series, and that's dealing with Thrawn some more. And I know he's, from my memory of the story, he deals with the Yuzong Vong, like that whole section of the Legends books. So hopefully we'll see, but don't know.
Yeah.
With the travel to the other galaxy too in Ahsoka, that's
true. They could definitely tie that into bringing in the Yuzon Vong.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't even considered that as a possibility for that. So for those who don't know about the Yuzon Vong, because
aren't deep into the Star Wars lore,
but they are a people from outside of the universe,
the galaxy.
The galaxy, and the Force they are devoid of the Force. So Jedi can't sense them, and
can't do anything with can't do any powers to them.
And all of their ships are
organic,
they're creatures that they use as spaceships
or weapons.
That's true, or weapons, because they use or they have gravity manipulating abilities. Their ships, and that's how they traverse space. But in the books they use them as weapons to, say, pull a moon
onto a planet and kill a beloved character.
Yep. So
the best way that character is gone, and I'm sad they did not put that into the series. I wish they gave him that way out.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the most fitting out for him.
Well, and that particular book was because, so what they did with the Legends is they said, here's the key points that we want to hit with this story, and they would give
an author
to other
and
authors. Yeah, so they had the story mapped out, but they would contract with authors to write the separate books. So that particular one,
that was R.A. Salvatore.
That was R.A.
right?
Salvatore, yeah. And so one of my favorite book series is the Dritz de Werden.
Yes.
Book. And so I was like, oh, hey, it's R.A. Salvatore, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said that character dying was one of the things that they said that they told him had to happen. Mm-hmm. It wasn't something that he chose. It was something that
he was told had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
it's like, well, at least he gave him a fitting way out.
Yep. So, but yeah. There's a ton.
There's a whole lot that they could be using for to extend their lore and their canon that they're just not. Like, there's everything that they could be pulling from pre-stuff that, like, they've mentioned. They've mentioned things from KOTOR era stuff, like the Rakatan, like the aliens that ruled the galaxy for millennia and then just disappeared. They mentioned them once or twice, but we don't see anything else from those eras.
So my personal opinion with the Star Wars stuff that has come out since Disney purchased it the stuff that is best received is stuff that has no parallels because they're not botching.
They're
stuff.
not tied into the Skywalker line.
Yep.
Like that, I have not watched Andor season 2, but I love the first season just because it's like, this is different. This is not what we've been getting, and the same characters we've been having constantly.
Well,
a whole new story.
And they also didn't have the preconceived notions from the fans, so the fans could come into it without saying this is how it like in their mind this is how it has to be good. And so a lot of the stuff that's been best received is because they've had that creative
freedom to come up with new stuff.
Instead of trying to shoehorn in random things
new,
along the
like
way.
new lore of like I have not seen the Acolyte. I have not given it a full chance. I've heard a lot of people bemoaning it, but
so what I also haven't watched it, but what I've been told is that there are some great characters in it. That's just not the main characters. I've heard there's some great secondary characters, but the main characters are from what I've heard are bland and boring. But again, that's also hearsay. I have not watched it personally, but I watched Andor season 2. I loved that. I need to go back and I haven't actually finished Clone Wars, and I haven't watched Rebels, and I should get back to those.
Clone Wars is a little, I will say, like, it's hard to say, but there's a bit of a slog with Clone Wars. You have to get through those first 4 or 5 seasons.
I wonder if anyone's made a supercut.
I'm sure they have. But
or even just hey, you can skip all of these because they're basically filler.
There's a couple that when I was watching through it, not like last year, I was rewatching through the Clone Wars, and it's just like, okay, so we're getting this story at this point with these clones, and then the next season we're getting the prequel story to them from them like a few months prior, and then later on, later that season, you see those same characters that you saw a minute ago be like fresh, new to the army. Now you're seeing like, oh, now they're commandos. Now they're like the really like high tech, sent into dangerous missions kind of soldiers, and you're just like, okay, who's who now?
Okay. Oh boy.
Okay.
There we go. Made us do a little shuffle and dance.
Yeah. Let's see. John pipes in, The Mandalorian started off decent, but descended into sadness. I think part of that is because by the end, it wasn't about Din anymore.
Yeah.
Not really.
I think the turn off point for me a little bit was like when it turned into the Book of Boba Fett, and it was just like, this isn't its own series. This is Mandalorian 2.5.
Well, I mean, the best parts of the Book of Boba Fett were the Mandalorian episodes.
I'm just like, I would have loved more just like, here's just Boba Fett rebuilding his empire.
But see, that's another one where Boba in the Legends is very, very, very different from what we got in Book of Boba. And so people, to be honest, they could have taken the Mandalorian and made him the Mandalorian
just made him
what Boba Fett should have been. But they I mean, to be honest, they wanted someone younger, and so they didn't want to be strapped in with the the actor is getting on in age. Fantastic actor, but he is getting on in age. Although then again, the Mandalorian doesn't do anything that's like super
physical.
And even if it is, he's got a mask on. You can have a stuntman super
easily
easy.
throw a stuntman in.
Yes.
But yeah, no, Hollywood in general needs to slow down and get a script that is ready before they start shooting, because they have a very big problem where they're
too busy trying to don't want the hype to come down versus waiting on a good script, and then they're like, hey, everybody is all about Grogu, everything, let's make this money, let's get this out.
And then with like the sequel era, it kind of felt like it turned. For the best way I've seen it described was turned into a chicken-sized competition between the two directors of just who can write a better Star Wars story, and it's just like, why? Like, get together, work together, share notes.
Yes.
Work along a certain guideline of like, here's what we're going to try and do.
Yeah.
Here's a story we're going to try and tell, instead of just, okay, this guy gets it first time.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I liked The Last Jedi. I felt like that was better. I know it gets a lot of hate, but I liked some of the things that came out of it. That, like, Rey is nobody important, nobody in particular. I love that. I love when there's no special ties for why a character is special. Just make them special.
Wait, that would have worked better if it was the point the whole time.
Yeah.
Because initially it started off that John Bodega's character was going to be that.
Yeah, that he was going to be a
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. They were pushing for like the first two movies that they were kind of pushing for him to be like, oh, he's going to be a new Jedi along with Rey.
Yeah.
It'd be like, cool. And then they just scrapped all that because
he just ended up being a side character.
Yeah.
Like,
and then
what's happening?
And then the whole casino part.
Yeah,
that for the story
did nothing. That child that we saw using the Force at the end of that movie, nowhere to be seen. No mention of that. I feel horrible. I forgot her name. The character that he went with for that casino chase. She had no lines in the Rise of Skywalker. She had like one line, maybe one scene on camera, but she was just not there. And it's just like that's just given into the. That's given into the haters. That's given into the people that that are way too loud with their opinions.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they're suffering from not having a full idea of where they want to go before they start shooting it.
Yes,
they don't have a story ready. They have some good ideas that they clump together as they go along.
Yeah.
So,
and unfortunately, we as consumers, we don't help this aspect either, because I see so often that they're demanding for the next season, the next one, and it's like, no, give them time to flush it out, but you want it turned around in the next 6 months, so they're agreeing to it.
That's how we end up with another Cyberpunk. That's how we end up with all these games that are released and flop immediately because it's so horrible.
Yeah. Because nobody has patience for waiting for them. Because I hate to be like that person, but it's like, back in my day, the only company that we had to wait to come to Suncoast on VHS or on DVD to see the next episodes of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I had to wait for my public school. For the library bus to come around and have them hopefully see if they have the next season of Digimon for me to rent.
We had to wait, and even because most of the anime we had to wait for it to be dubbed, so it was a whole year behind. Yeah. So we learned that patience, but nowadays because of streaming and this instant access, it's just like nobody wants to wait, and like even for the third movie for the Into the Spider-Verse, they're saying 2027. People are great, they're moaning. I'm like, but they did the same thing for the second. You had to wait 2 years before we got the second one, but it was
good. It was really
so
good.
I'm like, I will wait another 2 years to make sure the third one is good.
Let's see. John's gonna pop in his opinion here. In the days prior to the internet, where we didn't have this cacophony of feedback, the movie writers were allowed to actually just write.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's true. And then random kid popped in.
We had to wait for the letters to come in, the letters and postcards to come in. Yeah. And some intern had to filter all of those.
You guys had to wait for the Blockbuster for somebody to turn in their movie. I'm too young for that, luckily.
When's the last time someone's talked about writing a letter writing campaign to get their season renewed and stuff like that? Yeah, but yeah, Random Kid says that's why the first seasons or movies are the best.
Yes.
Again, because
Yeah.
once you have the first one out, then you're rushed to continue the story.
Yeah.
Um,
That's when the
Review-
filler episodes start popping in with animes, especially.
Yeah. Yes,
I
because they
mean,
don't
that's
want to
why-
wait for the manga to catch up.
And the animators are just like, okay, we're just gonna do this weird side story and just
Yeah.
gonna drift
It
off.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's why there's two
Naruto.
different Full Metal Alchemists.
Yeah.
Because they caught up to the manga and they're like, all right, well, we'll just make up our own story from here.
Mm-hmm.
And while I like the first one that they put out,
Yeah.
it does go in a very weird direction.
Especially the movie that came out afterwards. That one was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And then
mean,
when Brotherhood came out, you're like, now we understand.
Yeah, now it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you every movie, if it or everything, if it lives long enough, ends up bringing in the Nazis, right? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man!
You either die young enough to have killed off the Nazis in your show, or live long enough to bring in the Nazis into your show.
I actually had a conversation at Atlanta Comic Convention about what is going to be the next thing, because at this point, the World War II was 80 years ago.
Yeah.
So what's and I hope there isn't another event like that.
We hope,
but
we're hoping. Yeah. We're praying.
Yes.
But we're far enough removed now that, and some shows have brought in like the war in Afghanistan and other wars in the Middle East, but it doesn't have the same, at least in my point of view, it doesn't have the same impact, because you can argue different sides of more recent wars, to varying degrees, but it's pretty much universally accepted Nazi bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it
should be.
Yeah.
Yes.
That too. Because some people they argue otherwise.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're like, okay.
Yeah, no, I don't want to associate with you. Please leave.
Yes.
So, but anyway, let's we're running late today. We got to get to some more segments.
I, Mojo Jojo, say obey me and roll the dice.
All righty.
Stay tuned for this commercial break.
All right, I'm going to put on some music, and then I want to hear where people can find more about you guys.
Okay.
So
right.
let's see. Turn on some calm music. And Dana, where can they find more about you?
Well, I'm on most social media platforms. You can find me as DaniqueCosplay, right in the thing, and also Danique Events if you want to see some of my photography, event planning, and then of course the shows that I work with: Moana, like the movie, New NUI podcast on all social media and audio platforms, and then the Bop BOP the Bop. You can find on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.
Okay. And what about you, Wynton? Where can they find you?
Mainly on Twitch. I have not been live in a bit. I've been on a bit of a hiatus, been having to deal with some moves and stuff like that. I'm planning on getting back into it, but you can find me on Twitch at Forging Wynton, also at Instagram and Etsy as well, all at Forging Wynton. So yeah, hopefully I'll be getting back into streaming soon, whether that be video games, and then soon, hopefully, some more forging streams. It's been a while since I've done one of those, and it'd be fun to get back into it. I want to work on my next cosplay.
Okay. All right. Well, for us, if you want to support our show, you can go to patreon.com/wise_n_nerdy. And then you can also we've had several call-ins today. You can head over to wiseandnerdy.com/calldad to leave us a speak pipe and answer the question of the week. And normally we would give you the new question of the week, but the next one that we would do is at DragonCon. And so we don't tend to play speak pipes at DragonCon because we don't necessarily know if we're going to
what's going to be coming in. That's why you listen to them the night before and just go like, which ones can we do?
But yeah, so you can call in and get your voice on the show
For the next episode.
Yeah, and we've got several different voicemails that we can play today, although some of them we have been asked to save for when Charles is back, so we will do that as well.
Okay.
All right, let's see. We've got I think this one first from KCJ down in Australia.
G'day, dads. Casey here. So listening to that episode of Joe lamenting his car troubles, and boy, was that relatable. My wife's car just suddenly decided to spew out its guts all over the driveway.
Oh no!
Just
Always
oil
fun.
everywhere. So we had to get that to the mechanic. It's been there for 2.5 weeks now.
Ooh.
Fortunately for us, our next door neighbor got a brand new car, so we've borrowed their old car in the interim. So
I thought they borrowed the new car.
Running around in a different car, and then in that same week, the hot water system cocked it. So the kids were having baths and showers at their auntie's places, and they were loving having driving around in a different car and having a bath at somebody else's place. But my wife and I get stressed because these things normally come in threes, and we've been waiting for that third thing to go wrong. Unfortunately, it hasn't. No. Anyway, I hope all is well with your cast show, and I hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, hopefully by the time he tunes in next, things are better.
Yes. Hopefully car troubles are fixed, and heating is back on. Yeah. Especially for the winter season they have right now.
Yeah. We finally got a new vehicle yesterday, actually. So my wife's van, they're gonna come pick it up. They took it. So the van doesn't start, but they took it as a trade-in for 1,500 credits. So not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, they'll come and get it and take it away and take it to just send it off to auction.
Nice.
But yeah, got ourselves a new vehicle yesterday, and my wife is super happy about it. So.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm not having to need any new cars anytime soon.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah. And so Atlanta Comic Convention, my car went out when I got to Atlanta, and my wife's van died. So that was Friday. My wife's van died Sunday. So we had that weekend, both of our cars died.
Oh, wow.
My car got fixed, and her van, not so much. So, but
yeah, last year at Dragon Con, it was the first year I was bringing my then partner with me, and it was their first time coming to the convention too. On the way there, my car ran into some engine troubles, had a misfire in the engine, and then that had to pay and get that fixed while I was camping on the road trip down to Atlanta.
Oh wow!
Because I camp, my route to Atlanta has been like I camp along the road. I do a road trip, and then while in Atlanta, one of my tires popped in Atlanta trying to get to one of the panels for Dragon Con, and had to get it fixed. And luckily, I got 2 new tires that day because that was when I learned, my front 2 tires are completely bald. There was no tread on them at all.
Yeah.
And I went through the Smoky Mountains with those.
That's why there's I can't remember what tire manufacturer does it, but they actually put on it to where when it wears down, it reveals the word replace or something like that. Or
yeah.
So, but no. Yeah.
Luckily, I will be making sure my tires are better next time I go down to any cons or any big trip with this car.
There you go. All right, we've got a few more here from KCJ. Let's see what he's got to say.
To quote the great Franklin Roosevelt, the only thing we have to fear is the fear of no caffeination. So get caffeinated, guys. All seriousness. If you haven't listened to Charles's caffeination series, it's a lot of fun. He's got them out on TikTok. I highly recommend. Keep it up, Charles.
Yeah, he's been doing his daily caffeinations.
Okay.
But yeah, his TikTok series. It's fun.
Okay.
All right, let's see. The next one from Casey, make sure I'm playing them in the right order, is this one.
G'day, dads. Casey here. In the 2000s, I binge watched the heck out of the Pokemon first movie on VHS. And before the start of the film, they had a little short film called Pikachu's Vacation. And it was about the Pokemon without their trainers having a little holiday sort of thing. In that film, Bulbasaur was super responsible with Togepi, and it's kind of cemented in my mind that Pokemon would probably be pretty good at taking care of your kids if if they existed. Mind you, I probably wouldn't leave my kids with a Drifloon.
No. No.
But I reckon if I could pick like a Pokemon, I'd probably pick something like a Ivysaur or Bulbasaur, something not too big but big enough that with vines you could grab the kids and pull them back if they start running away
Drifting
or anything like that. So yeah, that's probably my choice. It's a bit lame, but Bulbasaur.
So I didn't realize I was supposed to save that one for next week because next week's question of the week is which fictional character would you trust to babysit your kids?
Okay.
Okay. So
bad, Casey.
Everybody got a little sneak preview on that one.
Pokemon wise, I think Drifloon and Miltank are definitely on my list to not let babysit my kids.
And then this one appears to be 8 seconds. Let's see what he's got, Casey.
All right, Dad, it happened. The third thing. My daughter fractured.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What was the third thing he said?
His daughter fractured her pinky.
Oh my gosh.
Ow.
Oh.
That's a quick ER visit.
He needs to keep some wood on him at all times.
Yeah.
Knock on it.
Yes.
Oh man.
Take a 2x4 and make a necklace out of it.
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah. Just keep it on your neck. Just
right
there.
Yeah. Or put it from the car rear view mirror.
Yes.
When he gets it back.
Yes.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's see what we've got. We're running a bit late today, aren't we? Because we've had some great discussions.
How do I?
And this one, the how do I for this week is how do I get started with cosplay? So when you both first started getting into cosplay and blacksmithing, what are some things looking back advice that you would give to someone that's just barely getting into it?
Well, luckily I had a bunch of people that are in that world and stuff, but a lot of the conventions, they have great panels of people to learn about it. Biggest tips, because cosplay is so mass produced. One, cost test your cosplays before you do it. Don't wear it when you're at con. Luckily, I got all these tidbits before I because a lot of people will want to break it out right at con, and it's like it's either too tight or it's
too baggy, or it's some cheap material that looks like a trash bag.
Exactly.
Yeah, that too.
And then along not only the outfit, but cost test your shoes, especially if you're getting for the outfit, because your feet gonna be hurting. Everything. Insoles are your friend. Get some insoles to put inside of it, and then also be realistic with your cosplay. Because a lot of people like, this looks nice, but you're in cosplay typically as a new cosplayer, you're wearing all day. You're in the shoes all day. You're gonna have blisters, everything else. And if you're at Dragon Con in Georgia, it's gonna be hot and humid. So you're gonna be sweating. You're going to have so many other things that happen unless you've learned how to install fans into your costume.
or your blacksmith and are constantly around a 2,000 degree forge.
Yes.
Taking it apart. So I'd just be used to the heat. So I'd go around the convention in those like thick, like fleece or like velvet, like
Oh
coats,
gosh.
like long coats with like layers underneath,
Wow.
or like all thick like a thick like woven cotton, like Viking style, just kind of like shirt, dress shirt. I'd be going around the con for the whole day like that. I'd be
Unless
like,
you spend
"Have
time
fun."
like that, don't do that.
Yeah,
You're going,
unless you're used to the heat, don't do
yes, because there's a
I-
number of times the ambulance has been called
it. Yep.
take people either because they've drank too much the
Oh.
day before and then
Yeah.
they're out and they're passing out because of dehydration and other
Yep.
issues, or you're overheated because of the costume you're in.
Yes.
Yep. I imagine good advice is to make sure you can sit down in your
Yes.
cosplay.
Yes,
Yes.
and have a
I-
dependable person that can be your handler to help you with
If it's a particularly big cosplay and particularly bulky, I
well,
definitely
not
recommend
even that. So you could get in and out of it to go to the bathroom, to
Mhm.
sit
Oh,
down
yeah,
to
yeah.
eat,
Yeah.
and everything, and hold your, especially if you have
Yeah,
anything
that's
like space to hold your stuff and
yeah.
help you to be able to eat. It's a
Mhm.
lot of people don't realize how much movement or
Yeah.
or clearance you may need, because you may have limited movement even if it's
Mhm.
not a big costume, because sometimes it's
Yeah.
too tight, or
Mhm.
because it's made, or you're whacking people with your tail because you
Yeah.
don't realize.
Yeah, I'm constantly like just being aware of like when I'm lugging around these spears around the con floor, I'm like constantly like, okay, make sure it's upright perfectly fine here. I'm not going to be hitting anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be running into this thing if I have it sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't think it was either last year or the year before when I was at the vendor hall at Dragon Con.
Mhm.
Someone had given their dog a lightsaber, and he was just
Oh,
ankle
yeah.
swiping.
Yeah,
everybody.
just taking out the ankles of everybody. He knows everybody's weaknesses.
But yeah, walking around the vendor hall, just
Be aware of your
Looking at all the
surroundings as
angles.
well.
Yes.
I guess for some advice for me for getting started, don't be afraid to learn new skills. Whether you're going to be learning sewing, you're going to be learning foam craft, you're going to be learning makeup, anything like that, you're going to be learning. Then there's always there's a learning curve to everything. It's going to take a little bit to get down. Don't be afraid of failure. If the first couple cosplays don't exactly go the way you want them to go, don't worry about it. You're one in a million. There's a bunch of other people that are in the same boat as you.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. And some of the people that you think look great are probably also worried about, is my outfit good? Is this right? Is this on point? Whatever. And as well, start small. Find some like a simple character that you enjoy, that doesn't have a lot of extra stuff to it, and go from there. You're doing a pirate cosplay Jack Sparrow or Amelia Swan. What was her name from Pirates of the Caribbean? Something Swan.
Miss Swan. Yeah.
Miss Swan. Yeah. Like for those characters, it's easy. Like you can go out and find go to a Ren Fair or even at conventions too. There'll be like places that sell like the leather equipment. You can buy stuff there too. They'll be expensive, but you can find stuff that fits and that works and piecemeal your stuff together.
Yes.
You don't need to go out full force on your first one, your first two, whatever.
Yep. And I imagine if you're making it yourself, I would probably at least double your estimated time to make it.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least. So
Like, I'll even say quadruple it. Because you have such a learning curve that you may have to fix it, you may have to repair it, versus, commissioning somebody, because they know how quick it's going to take them to turn around, versus you. Yeah, that person commissioning may take 3 months, but it may take you 9.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I've been very thankful. I've gotten help from my mother, who did like seamstress work years ago, and so she's helped me learn a lot of like how to go through the patterns and how to adjust the patterns of sewing from raw fabrics. And that's something I want to learn more into and start sewing all my stuff on my own. And then with the spears and a lot of these forge projects I have, I need to figure out what I'm forging out about 8 months before I need to know what character I'm doing about 8 to 10 months before my deadline, just because it takes so long to forge out whatever project I'm making. The one I was working on a new one for last year, and it was going to be about a 6-foot sword, another Brandon Sanderson Stormlight character, and it was working on it. Got about rough shape, but it still needs a lot of work. Could not have finished it in time for last year's convention. So hopefully next year I'll have this entire year and leading up to next year's Dragon Con to get that one done.
Okay. Yeah, because I imagine some of those projects for you take long time to get them.
Learning new skills. Yeah. Learning new skills, sometimes making new equipment for myself to make the process go quicker than just what I was doing before. So there's a whole learning curve in and of itself. Even though I have all the basic skills, it comes with its own learning curve. I want to make armor someday, and I don't know when I'm going to sit down and have time to make a suit of armor, and if that's going to be entirely realistic, or if I should do it out of steel or aluminum.
Well, I imagine the aluminum will be a lot lighter.
A lot lighter, but it would be a different working process than I'm used to. So, be its own learning curve.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you could have been steel. You could be iron. You could go as Iron Man.
Yeah.
If you go as aluminum, I guess you're just tinfoil Tony.
Yeah.
So
keeping all the governments out of my head, out of every inch of me.
All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and
roll that dice.
We have 2 more segments left. We're looking for a 4 or a 6, which we get both. So let's go ahead and jump on over to
bad dad jokes.
So we've got quite a few that I could come in. We've got a few that are speak pipes as well. But if you guys have any, be thinking of them, or if you have any ready, let me know.
I have one that I know, but it's not really age appropriate, I feel like.
Okay, that's what we call bad uncle jokes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I have none.
So my friend, they offended me because they really messed up their Frozen cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't let it go. All right, let's see. I think we'll save Devo Sites for next week that he called in for when Charles is back, because he had asked me to save a couple of his other ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got another one here in Discord that I wanted to pull up. This comes to us from the Full Run Through, aka Tyler. He said, "Did y'all hear about the company that makes yardsticks? They won't be making them any longer." They will always be a yard. All right, so on to our last segment.
Parliament of Pawpaws.
Parliament of Pawpaws. So I'm pulling this from Reddit. We will discuss this scenario. It comes to us from a user called Dan Wants Death. It says, "Am I the butt face for wearing a wedding dress at a wedding?" So right off the bat, you're like, oh, Let's get into the context here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll read it and then we'll comment on it. So my
Okay.
friend 20F and I, 19 male, have been friends for a few years, and she recently got engaged. A week ago, I got a DM from her for a small costume party she was hosting as a celebration for her getting engaged. I asked if there was a theme. She said there wasn't. I'm a cosplayer, so I had lots of choices. I didn't want to rock up in an anime cosplay, so I thought it would be funny to go to an engagement party as the corpse bride. I arrived at her house yesterday and everything seemed normal. A few people complimented my costume and I was having a lot of fun. After 10 minutes, my friend's fiance walked in a black tuxedo and announced that this was actually their wedding. Apparently, my friend saw a video of someone doing this and wanted to do the same. He asked us all to go to the backyard for the ceremony to begin. I went straight to him and asked him if I should quickly go home and change my outfit and that I would get back before it started. He told me it was fine since I didn't know this was a wedding. I trusted him and followed everyone outside. They got married. Everything seemed good. The reception was just in their house again, so everyone just walked back inside and picked up where they left off. I tried talking to my friend and celebrating with her, but she kept making excuses not to talk to me. I assumed it was just because she was tired from the big day and wanted some alone time. I didn't bother her after that, and the party soon ended. I got home, and half an hour passed when my phone started getting notifications. I checked, and it was my friend texting me. She was cussing me out and telling me how I ruined her wedding. I was really confused and asked what I did. That only made her more angry. She told me it was basic knowledge not to wear a wedding dress to a wedding. I reminded her I had no idea it was a wedding, and that I asked her now husband if I should change, and he said it was fine. She didn't respond, but I got a text from her husband. He asked why I would tell her he said it was fine. I told him he did say it was fine.
You did.
Then he said how I should have changed anyways, and it's my fault, and that the two of them are now fighting over this. I've tried texting her that I was sorry, and if I had known, I wouldn't have done it. I woke up today and saw her and her husband have blocked me on everything. So am I the butt-face for not changing out of the wedding dress when I found out it was actually a wedding?
No. Because one, the friend asked the person, is there a theme?
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to figure out what to wear. You even though you were trying to make it a surprise wedding, you could have hinted around, hey,
don't wear white.
Yeah, don't avoid anything that is wedding themed.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and then because they cosplayed, they had a whole plethora of other things they could have done.
Yeah.
But that was on them. And then also, why you asked the husband, that's not your friend. You should have went to your friend and asked, hey, is it okay?
And if it was like
or should I go home?
Yes. As
it's
well.
Technically her wedding.
As well, if it was like a bridal party before, wouldn't the friend have seen it before? Wouldn't the friend have been seeing her
before they announced it was a wedding? Yeah.
Well, and
she just came over and it's like, hey, this is about to happen. Go ahead and
yeah. My guess is they didn't have a bridal party. That would be my guess. And maybe it doesn't say when the friend showed up. It said a little while later that the fiance showed up in a tuxedo and announced it would be the wedding. So maybe she wasn't walking around, I assume, in the wedding dress at the pre-party.
Maybe
they were waiting for everyone to show up, and then he walked out and announced it. That's my guess. So there may not have been an opportunity to talk to her.
Yeah,
but the thing is, husband could have said, "Let me check with wife."
Yes.
Hey, she's dressed as this. I know you're still upstairs. Is it okay? And
or
then
there,
she could have
there should have been other
pull it to the
people
side
as well.
and say, "Go ahead and change." we're gonna
Yeah.
get started in about 30 minutes.
Like, there would have been
Or
other
come
people that
upstairs,
would-
I'll have something you can change it to.
Yeah, I would imagine there would have been other people that were there that might have been led onto this plan as well, just because they might have been part of planning it as well. They could have also said something. Like, there's so
Yeah.
many steps of people that could have said something,
Yes.
and it's not on this person. Therefore, it is
And the
not.
fact that blaming that person fully for it, it's just like, and then they're like, and they're blocking that person
Yeah.
because
That's not a friend. That's not a friend.
no, not at
So-
all.
There is an update to this story.
Okay.
They posted here. So the friend finally reached back out and apologized for blowing up like she did.
Good.
But it gets even more. So I had this thought the other day. Modern day Reddit drama is just our generation's Jerry Springer. But anyway,
Yes, it is.
Very much so. Yes.
Yes, it is. If Jerry Springer was still in his prime, they would be all over there.
Yes.
But yeah, so these people have been friends for 6 years, and the husband, he hasn't known hardly at all. So apparently what ended up happening is the husband is the one that suggested that both of them block him to stop the fight. She had initially agreed to that, but was still upset by it all. She started reaching out to other people.
Okay, now this husband's just being shady.
Yes. Yes. No one's talking to the person you block. Y'all should have, after y'all calm down, have a conversation instead of doing this blocking, talking to other
Just
folks.
sit down and talk, please.
So she started reaching out to other people at the wedding to see what happened.
Mhm.
And 3 other people corroborated the story that he had walked up to the now husband, and they heard him ask if he should go home and change.
Mhm.
And so that was when the now wife learned that the husband lied. The husband said that that conversation never took
happened.
place, because
Okay.
he was trying to avoid
Drama
fight by
on
lying.
hitting him.
That's
Just
definitely
makes it
not
worse.
the way to go
Except
around it.
and taking accountability. Yes, I said it. You know.
Mm.
So apparently, even though he doesn't know the husband very well, apparently he actually met the husband 5 years prior, and he doesn't remember it. And the husband has hated him for 5 years.
So you use some past drama that person don't even know about to basically crucify this person
Yep.
for something they completely didn't know about.
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh, that's so petty. This is
Yeah.
Jerry Springer.
Yeah. In what context do you meet this person
Come
once
on
for 5
out.
years and this other person doesn't remember you and you're just like, I hate this person. Here's a perfect opportunity for me to get them out of my life.
I
Let's
guess I
bring
was
it up
reading
on
into
screen.
it wrong. I was reading into it wrong. He does know him. It wasn't a
Okay.
misremembering.
Okay.
But they were not friends. Apparently they were
Okay.
his actual friend and the now husband were already dating, and the now husband was insecure that it was more than friendship. So for
Okay.
5 years he's hated him because of insecurity.
There's still
Um,
no conversation. That's another
Yeah.
thing.
yeah,
lack
no
of
conversation.
Just talk. Have that conversation.
Yeah.
It's that common denominator of people not wanting to have those difficult conversations.
Mhm.
It's just like, yes, there may be some hurt feelings, everything, and then once everything calms down and you think about it, it's just like, okay,
Mhm.
yeah, I hate that, but you were right.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
kind of wrong for that.
Mhm.
But
You brought
yeah,
5-year drama that you've been festering all this time, and then you used it as
Yeah.
ammunition to cause issues between two friends.
Yeah. Like this husband saw the opportunity of them in this
Mhm.
outfit, and who knows if they were also feeding into the worries of the friend, the now wife, just going like, oh, did you see this person dressed up as the bride trying to take, who knows as well.
Mhm.
That's something that
Yeah.
they could have been doing.
Yes.
yep. Yeah, but yeah, in general, the verdict is not the butt face.
Not the butt face, and talk. Sit down and talk.
Yes.
Yeah, the moral of the story is communication is good.
Yes. Yes. And if you're doing a surprise and you're telling people to dress up, give them context. You don't have to, it can still be a surprise, but at least give them boundaries.
Live by the
be
3
with
C's.
whatever they wear if you don't give them
Yeah.
boundaries.
Exactly.
Live by the 3 C's. Conversation, conversation, conversation.
Conversation. Yes. With active
So-
listening.
Yes.
Yes, spot on. Very spot on. But with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up.
All righty.
Follow these nerdy dads on social media. Charles at Rock God of Podcasting. Joe at Joseph_Ard. Check out the website, wiseandnerdy.com. And as always, they may not be your father, but they'll always be your daddy.
And make sure to go follow Dana and Forging Wynton out there. They've got some awesome content.